Did you know 65% of shots are played within 100 yards? Big area of the game, you've got to get it right, let's fix it for you.
Hello and welcome back to Pitch TV. I'm Adam Wells, I'm here with Gary Munro and today's guest Alex Elliott. And we're going to show you the importance of pitching and controlling your distances. But before we start that, please head over to YouTube and social media and follow Alex Elliott Golf and Pitch Golf London. Let's get started. Gary?
So, the wedge game.
Yep.
The wedge game has such an importance on your scoring and inside that 100-yard zone. I don't see it being practiced enough. And I also see people just with bad course management choosing the wrong club to play the wrong types of shots. So, Alex, if you can actually talk us through your system of how you can control distance and how you can use the wedges to your advantage.
Yeah, I think first off you've got to understand how far you hit your full one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it probably staggers me, and like you guys said before, like, you ask somebody how far they hit the 7-9, straight away, they'll be straight in there, 150 yards, I've got it.
Everyone says 150.
Yeah, exactly. But you ask them how far they hit the 54, how far hit the sandwich, it all becomes a little bit wishy-washy. So, my method is try and find out how far your sandwich goes, your 54, your 58, whatever that is, and then work it back from there. So let's talk about percentages. 100% shot, 75% shot, and a 50% shot.
It's easy, yeah?
Let's try mine.
Let's go.
So we go with 100%.
So yeah, I mean, and in terms of 100%, I wouldn't say it was 100% in terms of like a 7-9 or driver speed.
Yeah.
I would say it's very much a swing that's within yourself.
So controlled.
So
yeah.
Would it be more like 100% distance of your swing, like as in your arms go back?
I personally don't know.
No.
I personally wouldn't swing it as far,
Okay.
just because in my brain that's my trigger for being a little bit shorter, a little bit
Yeah.
slower, a little bit more compact.
Okay, but we're thinking kind of full swing
Yeah.
terms as your 100%, even
Exactly.
if that's not a full blown hit.
So if I'm right, this should probably go around 100-ish yards. There's no pressure. I've got to get
Alright,
this right.
We've got the Foresight FSX Pro set up here, so you're going to see on the screen exactly how far he's carrying it in the bottom right box. We've also got some other numbers with his club speed and ball speed and efficiency that we're going to take a little look at. So let's see the full one.
Okay.
Good strike.
92.6.
Perfect.
A little bit shorter than what I would probably think,
Yeah.
for me, but it's first shot of the day, that.
Not had your full warm up just yet, have you? So.
Okay, so you've got your baseline, that's your full 100% swing. How are you going to, first of all you said 75%, that's great. Is that through a tempo feeling? Is that through a swing length? How are you going to manage that?
A little bit of, well, I don't know how you guys work on this, but I sort of have a baseline of where I know my positions are. So, for example, the full one would be a little bit just past my shoulder height.
Yeah.
75% I'd associate that with like my hands at my shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I would go 50% of sort of like this 9 o'clock position.
Good.
I always sort of reference my glove hand. I think if you stick to the same reference every single time, it then helps you work through it. But how do you guys work?
That's a good point there. I experimented with this. Wedge game is something I really focus on. And you can focus on where the club head is as another reference for viewers out there, how far that's travelling back. Or as Alex does it, he references how far his hands go back. Just make sure you keep it consistent. For me, I've got a couple of different positions I like to hit, and they go certain distances, and I always use my gapping in here to check that. Adam?
Yeah, so I'm very similar. I actually use a mixture of my hands, the tag, on the shafts. We've got the tags that are on here. I use that as a reference, the club head, so that I've got different options for different distances.
So you mix it up, you go through all three?
Yeah, I mix it up. We're talking more about that a bit later when we've got different distances we need to cover, but that's how I do mine.
Okay, I'll go into my second shot here.
Let's see your 75% one then.
So I think one thing we should point out, guys, here is the fact of a lot of people would associate, I've got to have a shot that's around 100 yards, I've got to have that shot, but it's finding that position that works for your swing as a full shot. Because if you work it to you, you're going to be more comfortable with this. Yeah. Whereas if I've got to have a 100 shot, I've got to have a 75-yard shot, I've got to have a 50-yard shot, it then becomes a little bit hard to work to, because we're going to be a lot different. You're going to be a lot further than me. You're a lot taller, a lot bigger arms, a lot bigger than But no, it's true. Like, we wouldn't have the same driver distance. We wouldn't potentially have the same 7-9 distance. So the same's got to apply with the short stuff.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very good point that you make there. I think a lot of people go searching for the 100-yard shot when actually it might not be one that they're comfortable with. If it happens to be 92 yards or 105 or whatever, then play with it and use that to your strength.
Okay, so this is going to be my 75%
Yep.
one now. So I'll be feeling, and I always take a practice swing on the course, feeling and sort of trying to reference where my hands are.
Yep.
Then I've got a fresh feel, I can take it into the shot.
Perfect. Good. Another strike.
Nice.
Good.
So 71 that one.
71. There we go. Perfect.
Works
So
that
that's,
well.
yeah, roughly about 75%. Yeah, so that swing that you have there, Alex, would that be something that you'd be looking to kind of repeat? So that same swing feel will keep producing 70, 71, 72
Yeah.
yards each time. So
And
yeah.
all I do is, like, most people carry 4 wedges. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys want to get in the comments down there below, what wedges do you carry? How many wedges do you carry?
I carry 4.
I carry
Got to think now.
three wedges, I believe.
3 wedges, yeah. So I would almost associate my hands and where they are as the position, and I just change my club to alter certain
Yeah.
things, but I think we'll get into that
Okay,
Yeah,
now,
shortly.
another 50%.
This is the one I'm not so comfortable at.
Why is that? Just lack of experience in playing the shot and practice?
I think because I don't really use positions per se, it's sort of that borderline of feel
Yeah.
as opposed to
'Cause,
solid positions, yeah.
For this distance, you're probably going to be quite close to the green, so you check in where the bunkers
Yeah,
are, the land.
But I'm quite a
what's
visual
going on.
person.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
So
okay.
me on here trying to hit it a certain distance, I'm a bit like, oh.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see it.
Alright.
The 50% one.
Okay, and again, I'm just thinking about where my glove hand is and where I feel that.
Good. There we go.
So 45,
45
70
yards.
and 90.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so that you can see that that's gapped down quite nicely there. So from what, 92, 71, 45. So Alex there will have a baseline of what? Is that your 54 degree?
Yeah, that's my 54.
Yeah, so he'll know if he repeats those 3 swings, these are the numbers that are going to come out each time. Which leads me on to the point of how important it is to know your numbers. Here at Pitch, we've got the GC2 HMT and the GC Hawk that give us all this information. You can stand there practicing all day, hitting your 54s, knowing your distances, and it will give you a chart, it will give you an average of how far it's going, so it's very, very valuable information to take to the golf course.
Don't you guys email them out as well? So
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people get
exactly.
to-
We email them out to members after lessons. I sneakily email myself them so that I've got them on my phone when I'm on the golf course. I'm sure Gary does that too. Yeah, it's brilliant, but you've got to know and you've got to put the work in to get these numbers.
Yeah, you said there about having it on your phone. Like, I think just looking at, well, okay, I think people might think, oh, it's so much cheating. I can't have these yardages on my phone. I can't have them in it. What I do is I sort of have like almost like a scorecard book, and
Yeah.
I put a little piece of paper that I laminate
perfect.
in the top.
Yeah,
So if
absolutely.
it's raining, it stays good, and
Yeah.
they're just little flick, little reminder. Away
Yeah,
it goes.
absolutely. I think every decent player that I've played with, I've seen them. They've got yardage booklet, the scorecard, and a wedges distance,
Yeah.
like table.
So that's great that you've shown us, your 3 different positions to create that. Before we get into the sticky in between clubs, any drills or anything that you'd like to
Yeah.
see technique wise?
So I can grab some alignment sticks here. So I sort of, if you watch my channel, I use alignment sticks all the time.
They're great.
It's terrible, really. So I always have sort of this little setup on the floor here. So I have like where almost the feet line, which runs parallel to my ball to target line.
Yep.
And then I would put another one down here, and that's, I mean, without getting too complicated, it's about a 20-degree angle.
Okay.
So I like to stand there and feel as though, as I'm addressing the golf ball, I've got my lower half down the blue,
Yep.
my upper half sort of matching the yellow.
Is that on all wedge shots up to like 100 yards or
No,
just shorter ones?
as I go sort of, if I work this, if you did in the order that we did, the longer shots, I would go less open, a little bit more to your standard shot.
Yep.
And then as I get a little bit closer to the green, so for example, if you notice on my 45-yard shot, I got a little bit closer together, a little bit more open the lower half.
Okay.
Sort of that sticky situation between the pitch and a chip sort of area.
Yeah.
And do you do that for weight distribution? Do you do it because it actually helps you rotate because it's such a smaller motion?
Yeah,
Why do you do
exactly. Like, if you think about it this way, and this is sort of the boundary of pitching and chipping, I guess it. Like, if you wanted to throw something and you wanted to throw it down toward the target, as a human being, we'd want to stand sort of quite open
Yeah.
to it. We wouldn't stand here and
Yeah.
try and get this way.
That's not the motion you
Yeah,
really want. in
because
the golf
we're
swing,
looking. Our eyes are made to look at things this way. This is why when we're stood over a putt sometimes as well, everything looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
So using that to our advantage, we can stand a little bit open and move through it.
Okay, that's a good drill. So then, that's great when you've got those, you know, you get on the course and you land on those great numbers where you've got 50, 75, 100% swing. How do you manage those in-between yardages? Do you use somebody that likes to change club, change how you grip the up and down the shaft?
That's me.
Yeah?
I do a bit of both, change club and change position of where I put my hand. So if you came to me for a pitching lesson that you guys are probably similar to this, I would always encourage people to grip it roughly in the middle. So I'd even grip top to bottom.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of movement either way. So say for example, this shot here I had 45, if I had 40 yardage, you don't feel like you're stuck to that number. I can take 5 off roughly.
Yeah. By going down the club?
Yeah, going down the
Yeah.
club.
How much are they actually going down for
So
your
I'd
5
say
yard increments?
a quarter of an inch, an inch.
Yeah.
I mean, and it will depend on you. You've got to get your baseline figures and work this off.
Yeah.
It's not an exact science, and what I always think of these numbers that I put in my book, they're like, I call them penciled in, because you can rub them out, you can change them, they can move.
Yeah.
And as your kind of game progresses over the season, like you probably watch this at the start of the season, towards the end of the season, getting more into it, you might find these might go up by 2, 3,
definitely.
5 yards.
Yeah, they will, especially from like the wet conditions, dry conditions.
Hate wet
summer.
conditions, don't talk to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it will all change. It will change throughout the season, so you will need to top that up throughout.
Yeah, that's a good thing maybe to come in, when you come in here to practice it monthly, just do a gapping report to see it. When your technique
Use it as
gets
a warm-up.
better, that's a good way actually.
Yeah, perfect.
See Dustin
warm-up.
Johnson do that a lot,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah,
I mean, I watched a
absolutely.
video on his, it was a joke, he was like, how many hole-in-ones have you had? Oh, the only ones that I count are like 9, because I'm on the PGA Tour. I'm like, 9?
No, that's 0 for me. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, on the PGA Tour, 0.
So,
Okay. Well, thank you very much for showing us that. That's brilliant.
thanks guys, thanks for having me on.